Hello everyone, welcome to the Mobius video blog series. Today we will be working with dashboards. But before we continue, please be sure to set your YouTube settings to full screen high definition. The dashboard we'll be composing today will show performance data related to the SCOM database. And when I say SCOM database, I mean specifically the primary database and the data warehouse. I've selected 9 performance counters, which in my experience do a great job at giving you an accurate model of how healthy your databases are. We'll be working with disk write related counters, disk read related counters, the rate of transactions into the database, and disk queue lengths. The approach is simple. First, we'll begin by identifying where the SCOM databases reside, which server they're on, and more importantly, what disk subsystem they live on. We'll then create a management pack and a computer group to store all related objects. We'll then verify if performance data is in fact being collected. Empty dashboards are useless. Then we'll put everything together and create our dashboard. The first step is to create a new management pack for our dashboard and related objects. After we name it and create it, we'll do a quick search to ensure it was properly created. We're all set to move on to the next step. So now it's time to create a computer group. And in this computer group will be the computer object for our SQL Server hosting our SCOM database. The server for this example, its name is Delta. We'll do a quick search. We find it, we add it into the computer group. And then shortly after saving it, we'll search to ensure it is there. We'll then view the members, and there it is. We're ready to move on. Before we go any further, it's time to make sure that performance data is available for our SQL Server. So I'm going to create a simple performance view, but first I'll create a folder in my monitoring window called My Dashboards, and then I'll just create a new performance view, give it a friendly name. But the key thing is I'm targeting our newly created computer group, so I don't get everything. I just get performance data specific to our SQL database server. As you can see, there is ample performance data for this server. We'll do a quick spot check and make sure there's disk related data, and there we have it. We need to ensure that the performance collection rules that populate our dashboard are enabled. They're all based on 2012 logical disk counters, so I'm going to scope my rules view to 2012 logical disks. And what we'll notice right away is a lot of them are disabled, including a few that we need for our dashboard. So what we're going to do is simply override a specific rule. In this case, we're going to go with disk reads per second, and we're going to override it for a group, for our group. That way we don't affect any other overrides that may already be in place. In addition to enabling it, I'm going to increase the frequency to 1 minute. The 3 disk write rules and the 3 disk read rules all need to be enabled. Be sure to turn them on. It's now time to create the dashboard. We will create it and store it in the same location as the performance view we were playing with earlier. It's going to be a simple grid layout. We'll give it a friendly name, and we're going to use 9 cells to correspond with the 9 performance counters we want in our dashboard. So once we have our 9 windows, it's time to populate them. We're going to start off with a performance widget, not object by performance. First one will be disk writes per second. Feel free to add them in any order you want. And now we're going to target the group we created earlier. Our counter will be logical disk. Our object is logical disk. Our counter is disk writes per second, and our instance is C. Our database resides on logical disk drive C. We'll add maximum and average values for a little more additional information in our view. And click Create, and our widget is done. All the remaining widgets are created the exact same way, except their counter differ. They're all used in the logical disk object. However, our seventh one is a database widget. This is the one where we can see database transactions per second. It's created the exact same way our disk ones were created. However, our object will be different. It's going to be SQL database, and the counter is database transactions per second. The instance will be all. I thought it'd be a good idea to see how all the databases on your SCOM server are behaving. Pay special attention to the tempDB. It's a lot busier than you think. So what you're seeing now is how this particular widget is created. And then the last two are disks again. And we're done. You have your dashboard. Thank you for watching. We really need your feedback to ensure that we have great content and that we're delivering it properly. So any and all suggestions are greatly appreciated.